Hey there guys, so we are back with another video. I'm about to head over and go hang out with my little brother. He's a bodybuilder and he's gonna help me put together a workout plan that I can give to you guys because I've seen a huge correlation with people's progression and the time they spend in the gym. Now, it's not gonna be about getting gigantic, but it's gonna be about building some core muscles that you're gonna use when you learn tricks. So be on the lookout for that video and that free workout plan. But right now, this video is for my tall riders out there. This is for you guys who go to the store and an old lady comes up and says, hey, can you help me get this off the top shelf? You're like, I mean, I don't work here, but I guess, right? No, I hope you're nice to the old ladies and I hope you get the stuff off the top shelf for them. But if you're really tall, this is gonna help you out so much because I'm 6'4", almost hit my head on doorways, not quite, but riding is a struggle. We have constant back problems. It's hard to find parts that fit for us. And so I'm gonna take you through some tips that I've learned over the years that are gonna help you ride your bike successfully. But real quick, I did wanna give a shout out to Amin Oz. He's been emailing me back and forth. He reached out to me and said, hey man, I really like your recommendations and I am gonna go with the Kink Whip that was from the recommendation. However, it's like 200 euros more in my country than it is in your country. Would you be able to like get it for me and then ship it up to me? And we kind of looked into it, like the possibilities, but unfortunately it was so much more expensive to ship the bike over there that we just couldn't make it work. But however, he did go ahead and buy the bike over there and he just got it today. He sent me a picture of him with his new Kink Whip. Super hyped for you, man. And thank you so much for letting me help you pick a bike. I literally love what I do. I have so much fun doing it. So don't forget to reach out if you need any help with anything, but enjoy. With that being said, guys, let's get right into the video. The Dougster Bob mission. Growing BMX by making it fun and easy to understand. For some of us, it's an escape. For others, it's a passion. But for all of us, it's a lifestyle. Good boy! You're gonna love this sport. You good? I'm glad you're letting me teach you everything that I know about it. Alright, so the first thing that's gonna help you be a better tall BMX rider is making sure your bike fits. So for me, my parents got me my first bike when I was 13. It was for my 13th birthday. I loved it, I was so happy, but I've always been a really tall kid. And that bike was a 19.5 inch top tube. At the time, it's a good BMX bike. I'm like, yo, like I'm super stoked. And but now looking back at it, I was probably on the taller end. So a 19.5 inch top tube is best for those riders who are like under 5 foot or right at 5 foot, and they're transitioning over to a 20 inch from an 18 inch. Now, needless to say, that wasn't me. However, I loved the bike, but it wasn't the right size for me. And I didn't know about size until like years ago. When I was shopping for aftermarket parts. So if you guys are still just shopping for a bike, like this is something that's really important to look at. I do free bike recommendations on my website. I'll leave the link below, but essentially I help you guys get the perfect bike so that you guys don't run into any issues later on. But that's something super important, guys. Make sure that your bike fits. So the top tube is the most important size. It's just how comfortable the bike feels. Longer top tubes are harder to control, while shorter top tubes are easier to maneuver, but they're less stable. So make sure when you're shopping for a bike that you guys go Google BMX size guide. Hopefully you click on my website when it pops up. If not, it's all good. It doesn't really matter. You just need to understand what size is right for your height. And if you're still growing, get a size taller so that you can grow into it, okay? But make sure that you guys get the right top tube size. Another thing that's really overlooked is the handlebar height. And when you're shopping for a new bike, it generally is going to say the rise of the bars, and that's what you're going to want to look for. If you're a taller rider, One, you should be looking for like a 21 or taller top tube, but you should also have bars that are over 9 inches. Now S&M makes like perfect 10 and even 11 tall bars. In my opinion, these are way too tall. It's hard to actually do tricks with bars like this, even though it saves your back. However, you guys, you got to feel what's comfortable, but do not get any bars that are under 9 inches because you're going to be hunched over. And that's not a comfortable way to ride. Now the last thing is the stem reach. This is something that's really overlooked and you probably won't even consider it until you start to buy aftermarket parts. However, keep it in the back of your mind so when you get to that point, you can remember, oh, I'm buying a new stem, I'm gonna get something with a little taller reach. So the common reach is like around 48 millimeters, but you guys can find things over 50. And what that's going to do is that's going to pull the bars away from the frame. So it's going to be farther out and it's going to be a lot more comfortable overall. But with that being said, a longer reach does make bar spins harder because it's farther away and there's more, like it goes closer into your knees when you spin it, and then it's also farther away. So if bar spins are something that you really want to do and you don't care about comfort, don't get a long reach stem. But that's something that a lot of people overlook. And when I realized that, I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. I can still bar spin with a longer stem. It's just a lot more comfortable for me. Okay? So this is something that absolutely changed the way I rode. It didn't necessarily change how I did tricks or anything like that, but it helped me stop getting hurt all the time. And I'm not going to go in depth on like the certain stretches. I'll leave a link below to the post that I did about this, and it does list out the most common stretches that I do to prevent injury. But I'm going to talk about why it's so important and why you need to start stretching. But first, let me explain something. If you guys have played football, baseball, anything like that, you know before you exercise, you stretch. So why should BMX be any different? And it is, but it isn't, okay? And that's going to make sense here in a second. But our muscles have explosive power. And when you stretch, you're stretching out that muscle, and therefore you're losing a lot of that explosive power. So this explosive power is really important in sports like boxing, BMX, and things like that that require just a burst of energy. So when you go to do a trick, you're firing those muscles in an explosive way. So with that being said, we're gonna change the way we stretch to avoid fatiguing those muscles, but still getting them warmed up. And I'm different than how a lot of people do it. A lot of people that do these weird stretches to prevent like the muscle actually stretching, do things like grab your forearm, right, and dig into it and then let go, and things like that. And I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna advocate that you don't go too crazy when you are stretching out these muscles, but still stretch them out because it warms them up. So like, let's say in baseball, you do this for 30 seconds, okay? That's good. We're gonna do it for 10 because we're gonna get it warmed up, but we're not gonna lose that power. And that's something I want you to keep in mind when you do stretch, is don't overexert the muscle, but just get it warmed up. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, a couple things that to me are super important for a tall rider to stretch out are our legs, okay? And then our lower back. That's for me, I hopped on my bike and just did a 180, but like the way I pulled with my back, and bro, I couldn't walk for a week. It was crazy. I've been to chiropractors so often for stupid things like that. So stretching out this lower muscle, but also building a core is gonna keep everything tight and in place so you don't have that issue. I'll talk about building muscle in the next part of this video. For now, just focus on stretching. Head over to the link in the description and read those stretches that I do, but make sure just do it before you get on your bike. So you pull up to the skate park, you get your pads on, you get ready to ride, and then you stretch. You spend 5-10 minutes just kind of doing some light stretches so that when you overextend something, that muscle's already warmed up, okay? And that's all I got on stretching, guys, but be careful out there and give it a try for a couple weeks and see how different you feel. Okay, The final thing I'm going to touch on in this video for taller riders is build muscle. So I know I talked about it a little bit in the beginning. This next video is going to be a lot more in depth about these different exercises that will help you build the core muscles you need to, one, progress, two, prevent injury. But I do really stress this for the taller guys because our bodies are spread out. So there's less condensed muscle, condensed limbs, I don't know. But with it being so spread out, it's easy to like stretch over to try and save yourself and then pull a muscle or whatever it may be. So these are some core groups that I focus on when I'm training hard and when I'm trying to not get hurt. This last month, I've kind of slacked off and I'm hurt right now. So take it seriously, guys, build up those muscles and don't get hurt. Now, the first one is the core. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but your core controls like so much of your back. It's really crazy. I was talking to Mike Payne and he was telling me about a time he crashed on a huge vert ramp and he dislocated a disc in his back. Instead, he said he just started focusing on a ton of core workouts. He did a bunch of core workouts, got that core really strong, and the disc actually like went back in place. That's what he says. It's crazy. So he didn't get surgery. He shouldn't be able to walk, but with that, he built up his body to overcome that, and now he's still killing it. So it's absolutely crazy, but the core is something that you guys don't want to skip. It's going to help you out so much as you ride. Now the other one, lower back, also upper back. A lot of people say like, you know, don't skip leg day. I'm saying don't skip back day. I hit back like twice a week when I'm really training, and it includes like that lower back, but also that upper back. We use that upper back to pull, push, everything like that when we're riding our bike. So having a strong upper back is going to help you not get hurt, and it's going to also help you land those harder tricks. The lower back is mostly to prevent the injuries that come with all the pulling and twisting and everything that we do when we're riding. Okay, the third thing, your traps. Now these are these muscles right here. They're super important, and I also think it looks cool when you have huge traps. But like I said, same with that pulling, pushing motion with your upper back, your traps are doing the same thing. Third thing, your glutes. You use your butt when you pedal all the time. So it should be pretty strong, right? When you start to bail off your bike, you're gonna realize how important it is to land and like compress your legs, and your legs and your glutes need to be able to take that impact. When you're falling off a giant stair set and you jump off your bike, you need to be able to land that, roll away, whatever it may be. The last thing is gonna be your calves and your ankles. Now, strengthening your calves is going to increase mobility on your ankle, which is super important, because if it hasn't happened yet, you keep riding, I promise you're going to do an ankle McTwisty, and it's going to suck. You probably won't break it. You'll just be sprained for a couple weeks. It's fine. But having that ankle mobility that comes with strong calves is going to prevent this from happening. Just make sure that you guys are strengthening your body. You can't get to the gym, do some in-home workouts, but for a tall rider, man, this is so important because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to ruin your riding career. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So that is the 3 tips for tall BMX riders. I hope I had a little bit of valuable information in here for you, and I hope you're able to take some of these things that I taught you, apply it, and really become a better rider. With that being said, guys, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe because I'm always working on new stuff and I want you to get notified when something comes out. Be on the lookout for that new video where I'm going to talk in depth about building muscles to become a better BMX rider. Now, if you like this video, I'm going to pop up 2 other things on this screen after me. There's going to be a playlist with all the complete bike reviews that I've ever done. And then I'm also going to put the playlist of all the BMX spec videos. So I'm working on a series that talks in depth about every BMX spec you need to know. I also have an accompanying ebook. It's on my website and on Amazon for 10 bucks. But if you really want to learn BMX specs, check that out because it goes so in depth and you'd be amazed how like a chainstay can help you learn 720s. It's crazy. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.